Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
A former police officer convicted of rape has been sentenced in Superior Court.
Details from today's chamber meeting on the H-2B labor crisis.
And also tonight, the debate rages on for legislation for a line of credit to pay tax refunds quicker. Hafa day, everybody, and good evening. If you're watching us live on KUAM TV8, watching us live on Facebook, or the behind-the-scenes view on Instagram Live, we thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Well, in our top story, once a cop, now a convict. Ex-police officer Paul Santos has been sentenced to 21 years behind bars for using his position as a police officer to rape a woman.
Despite today's sentencing, however, he'll remain a free man pending his appeal. Crystal Paco reports.
Judge Vern Perez broke down the numbers.
In essence, 15 years for the sex crimes, 3 years for the bribery, 1 year for the official misconduct on 2 counts, 1 for the abetting prostitution, and that would be a total of 21 years sentence.
Ex-cop Paul Santos may have been sentenced to 21 years behind bars, but he's not heading to jail just yet. This after the court granted defense attorney Randy Cunliffe's request that Santos remain on house arrest pending the appeal of his conviction.
I cannot disagree with the government that these are serious charges. And I cannot disagree that we intend to appeal these charges. We would ask that the court grant Mr. Santos bail pending appeal so that he may participate with counsel in the preparation of that appeal, as well as stay with his family and not be incarcerated.
The court's decision came down despite prosecution's request that Santos start his sentence immediately. Prosecutor Matthew Heibel noting for the last 4 months, Santos has been on house arrest despite his conviction late last year. Prosecution reminding the court that Santos didn't just violate the victim, but also the public's trust.
A sentence must go into effect. The court's well aware of how long the appeals process takes. At some point, justice has to start, and the people are requesting that it start today. But at the end of the day, we punish the crime. And the crimes here are some of the most severe we have in Guam, outside of perhaps murder.
Over 2 years ago, Santos had sex with a woman who was soliciting escort services on Craigslist. Rather than pay for the sex, he used his authority as a police officer to threaten to put her behind bars for prostitution if she didn't cooperate with him. During trial, the victim testified she was violently raped. Santos never testified in his defense during trial, but counsel maintained the sex was consensual and it was the woman who was the aggressor. At the advice of his counsel, Santos didn't provide a statement for today's sentencing. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Chief of Police J.I. Cruz responded to today's sentencing, stating in part, quote, "The sentence was appropriate based on the merits of this particular case," end quote. The chief adds in regards to an officer using his position and authority to intimidate and assault someone, he says, "I think it's a sad day in law enforcement when a police officer abuses or misuses the authority vested in him or her."
Former Saipan Bishop Tomas A. Camacho stands accused a second time of clergy sex abuse. Filed in the District Court of Guam late Wednesday, 65-year-old B.C. alleges he was sexually molested by Father Camacho in the early 1960s at the Nuestra Señora de las Aguas parish in Mongmong. B.C. was an altar boy when he found porn magazines in the rectory. According to the complaint, Camacho caught him looking at the magazines and threatened to tell B.C.'s mother. The priest then performed sex acts on the boy, and he never told anyone out of fear Camacho would tell his parents he was looking at them. BC is suing for $5 million. He is represented by attorney David Lujan. 2
more Archbishop Anthony Aparon accusers will meet with officials from the Vatican Attorney David Lujan confirms his clients, Roy Quintanilla and Roland Sandia, will testify in the Aloha State of Hawaii next month. There they will meet with Cardinal Raymond Leo Burke, Father James Kahn, and Father Justin Wax, accompanied by canon lawyers representing Aparon. The group is tasked with investigating Aparon as part of his ongoing canonical trial in Rome. Aparon's two other accusers, Walter Denton and Doris Conception, the mother of the late Joseph Sonny Kanata, already met with the tribunal. In previous KUAM News phone interviews, they stated Aparon's trial could be completed as early as this summer. All four accusers are represented by Lujan, who originally advised them not to speak with tribunal members while they were visiting the island. Lujan says, quote, "There's a compromise that was reached, but I can't discuss it," end quote. Quintanilla and Sandia's meeting is set for May 6th.
One of two major airlines serving the Taipei to Guam route is pulling out. Taiwan-based EVA Air, which flies twice weekly service to Guam, is suspending operations effective June 7th. Airport Marketing Director Rolinda Fa'asuamalie says the carrier has not yet given a reason why it's leaving.
A surprise to us that the corporate headquarters had decided to suspend services.
Okay. Did they give any reason at this point why?
We understand that it was the headquarters' decision, and we'll be meeting with the office manager and discussing issues on how to maintain the numbers we're seeing from Taiwan with China Airlines, our current operator, and also with GVB.
EVA Air began serving the Taiwan-Guam route in June 2011.
The foreign worker visa crisis that prompted the governor to withdraw support for the military buildup remains in legal limbo. An attorney working on Guam's case says federal immigration authorities continue to put up a brick wall, but she is hopeful that the Trump administration will reverse course and allow much-needed H-2 workers back onto Guam. Our Nestor Lecanto has more in our next report.
Longtime immigration lawyer Melinda Swavely says the issue turns on the definition of temporary worker. The Contractors Association and local construction companies argue that USCIS has done an about-face on its long-held interpretation. As proof, where approvals used to be at 95%, now it's near zero. But the feds say there has been no policy change.
We don't see that that could be the case, because how can you have such a disparity in the results of these adjudications of our H-2.
Swavely believes the policy reversal was political and had nothing to do with Guam. She says it was the Obama administration's response to union protests over the removal of a national cap that quadrupled the number of H-2 workers. She says USCIS then began a nationwide re-examination and took the position that Guam has been abusing the H-2 labor program.
Now they're saying they shouldn't have approved these petitions for all these years, and they're not. So it just concerns me, because it seems as if it's being resolved in the states, but now they have taken an attitude towards Guam.
So Guam has filed suit asking the federal court to stop the denials, while USCIS has moved to dismiss. The sides are still waiting on Judge Joaquin Manabusan's ruling from a January hearing, although Swavely says she was encouraged by his questioning.
He brought up the military buildup. How are we going to be able to carry out the military buildup? Of course, he didn't say how he's going to decide, but I felt that his comments and the way he thoroughly questioned the attorney representing USCIS was very encouraging to our side.
Meanwhile, labor officials say foreign workers make up just 20% of the construction labor force and are not taking away American jobs. A year ago, there were more than 1,000 H-2 workers here. Now there are about 130. Officials say the shortage not only threatens the military buildup, but other major projects in the private and local government sectors as well. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
It was a controversial document signed in 2011 that dictates how historical properties are handled during the military buildup. With an annual review scheduled for tomorrow morning, stakeholders share their thoughts on how the agreement has held up over the years. Isabata has more.
It's meant to keep the military accountable by protecting historic sites during the military buildup.
It provides for actions needed if they are going to mitigate adverse effects, like on burials, like on latte sites, or any type of property that they have surveyed and identified.
Guam State Historic Preservation Officer Linda Uggan signed the programmatic agreement 7 years ago.
It's not because I'm in favor of the buildup, it's because I am responsible for, as the State Historic Preservation Officer, to be part of the the review process.
So far, she said there has been substantial progress, and her office continues to review projects.
If, for example, they find a burial, there's already a process that they know, the Department of Defense knows what to do in case there's a burial. They have to submit a plan, reburial plan, and if it's a site, they have to submit a work plan to do the data recovery.
The agreement helped resolve concerns when a controversial training range was proposed at the Pocket area. However, issues still remain, including funding for maintenance and qualified staff for the new Guam Cultural Repository, which will be funded by appropriations from the 2017 National Defense Authorization Act. Vice Speaker Therese Herlahi also raised concerns about improving public access to the list of projects.
My concerns are notice to the public, that I think we can do a better job of that, and that the promises that were originally agreed, have those all been fulfilled. And I was also concerned because the governor had said that there was a breach in this programmatic agreement, and I want to know if our representatives or the military's representatives have anything to say about that.
Uggan said she thinks when Governor Eddie Calvo withdrew his support for the military buildup, it was to raise awareness about the H-2B visa issue. However, she said that issue is separate from the programmatic agreement.
Of course, the H-2B visa is very related to the buildup, but that's a Homeland Security issue.
The annual programmatic agreement review will take place at the Guam Museum Thursday and will include attendees from the Department of Defense, Government of Guam, and Guam State Historic Preservation Office. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
All right, everybody, we are going to take a break, but as we've been telling you, we've got a behind-the-scenes view going on right now on Instagram Live. We've been talking with Guamanians from all over the place. Shout-outs to everybody. We are back right after this.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming of KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Have you gotten paid yet? That's the premium automatic insurance deduction plan from Calvo's Insurance. Paid simplifies your home and auto insurance. No down payment. No more long lines. And you can stretch your payments up to 12 months. Paid is convenient. It deducts from your payroll, your checking account, or your credit card. With Paid, you get up to 65% off your car insurance and enjoy lifestyle club discounts. Life can be easier when you get paid.
Call Calvo's Insurance today and save on your home and auto insurance.
Two things come to play when talking about mobile data: price and speed. Let's look at what happens when we compare the competition against IT&E's $80 plan. Docomo's $79 plan comes with 6 gigs. IT&E's $80 plan comes with 20. GTA's $80 plan comes with 10 gigs. Better, but you get twice as much at IT&E. IT&E has the best network and the data to back it up. Get unlimited talk and text and 20 gigabytes for $80 at IT&E. Oh, and if you bring your own device, get 40 gigs.
Get more during our spring clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Inherit that go-anywhere attitude with the legendary rugged Jeep Wrangler 4x4 of the decade. For a limited time only, enjoy savings of $2,500 off. Or go beast mode and save up to $5,000 off Ram trucks, voted Guam's best 2 years in a row. Plus, well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing. Get to Cars Plus today for quick and easy financing during our spring clearance event. Cars Plus, driven by you.
There's no place on Guam like Chuck E. Cheese's. It's tons of fun with so many games, and parties are a blast, where everyone has fun. Come and party at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Call and book your party today.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adaki Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Tidzas Ma'asi, Matson.
Act with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Welcome back to Primetime right here on KUAM and Facebook. Well, happening this evening at Adelup, the governor's office is holding its second public hearing to discuss its tax refund bill. The measure does propose a $75 million line of credit.
Governor Eddie Calvo has said this will speed the payments of tax refunds to be paid out within weeks after filing. The legislature is also scheduled to hold a special session this Friday to deliberate on the bill. And when lawmakers do go into special session, it looks like Senator Michael Nicholas won't be throwing his support behind the governor's bill. Just today, he returned the governor's original Tran Bill 73 back to the committee because it violates the legislature's standing rules, which bars consideration of legislation which borrows for operations. Bill 1 is mirror legislation to Bill 73.
Well, it's now been 5 days since financial disclosure reports had to be filed with the GEC, and still more than 100 people have yet to do so. All elected officials, GovGuam department heads, and anyone who contracts or buys for the government is required to submit their disclosures annually. Government boards and commissions must also file any conflict of interest statements. As of today, 203 of 364 GovGuam officials have since filed. About 50 requested for an extension, and no word from 109.
Island leaders are another day closer to voting on the bills, resolutions, and appointments up for discussion during session. KUAM's Nick Delgado has more from the floor.
A strong backing coming out of the legislature for those denied for decades.
The U.S. Congress has recognized a correlation between Agent Orange exposure and diseases contracted by veterans of the Vietnam War. Congress has not yet allowed compensation for Agent Orange exposure on Guam, and DOD has denied that Agent Orange was on Guam.
Senators today expressed support for Resolution 25. Vice Speaker Therese Talahi introduced the resolution. It further backs H.R. 809, the Foster Act, introduced by Florida Congressman Dennis Ross.
It would include Guam, CNMI, American Samoa, and territorial seas of Vietnam as additional locations where veterans were exposed to Agent Orange, and include them as eligible to receive the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs benefits.
Senator Frank Uggan Jr. also showing support and ready to take whatever next steps needed.
Should the Congresswoman and the GAO office find that in fact Agent Orange was utilized here on island, there are even more far-reaching implications in addition to our veterans, because I've heard from a number of our civil service employees who worked either at either bases on island at that point in time, who claim that in fact they may have also been affected.
My stepfather served in Vietnam and is suffering some very serious physical and health-related issues because of his exposure.
The issue also hitting close to home for Senator Regine Biscoe-Lee. She too expressed support for the resolution.
It also asserts the rights of the people of Guam to be treated equally and to be recognized by the U.S. government for their substantial and continued service.
The resolution now moving forward for a vote, along with the list of other measures on this week's session agenda. Today's discussion no doubt sends a message to all those exposed that if the bill in Washington is passed, it will ultimately be a big win for those denied compensation for far too long. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Nick Delgado.
Thanks, Nick. Senators are scheduled to begin voting tomorrow afternoon.
In other news, the investigation into the alleged use of Agent Orange on Guam, as detailed by dozens of eyewitness accounts from veterans, is going by the Guam EPA, whose spokesperson Nick Lee spoke with us today about this matter.
The eyewitness accounts that were issued to us by way of notarized testimony have come in. They still continue to come in. Some of them back up other claims from other veterans who witnessed the use of Agent Orange. And we plot this into our grid of possible sampling sites, but we have not formalized all the sites yet.
Lee said the agency is working with the military to access sites, many of which are on military property. The EPA is also formalizing an agreement with Joint Region Marianas for financial as well as technical assistance. That investigation was launched earlier this year.
Chris Barnett has the day in sports, but first, here's weather.
I hate to be the bad guy here, but somebody has to keep us from busting our monthly data limit. Sorry, honey, we're out of data. But I'll tell you the ending. Glenn dies. My family just wants to enjoy the internet on their schedules. Why does this have to be such a hassle?
Really, Mom? It's an online class. I need the internet to graduate.
Then go to the library. They have free internet, right?
This is so unfair.
My thoughts exactly.
Just a few more minutes, please.
I really don't want to nag, but money doesn't grow on... There's got to be a better way.
Free yourself. Switch to GTA Home Internet today. Truly unlimited with no data caps or additional usage fees.
A wise man once said that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. You don't always see that 10% coming. When you get hurt or feel the devastation. For over 40 years, Alpha Insurers reacts quickly for you to provide you with peace of mind. Always. Alpha Insurers. Protecting your good things in life.
How much do you pay for your unlimited mobile plan? Too much! Switch today to Value Mobile at $24.99 a month. It's the lowest priced unlimited mobile plan on Guam. Yes, $24.99. Value Mobile by iConnect gives you unlimited data, local calls, and local text, and a free phone, all with no contract. Value Mobile by iConnect, the lowest priced unlimited mobile plan at only $24.99 a month. Visit an iConnect store or ValueMobileGuam.com. Find us on Facebook. Conditions apply.
People are talking about the new Buick. With 4 fresh new models to choose from. And what are they saying?
Your new Buick is so cute.
Love the new Buick. Does it do it?
Sweet Buick.
Experience the new Buick.
Get 16% below MSRP on select 2017 Buick SUVs in stock. That's over $4,400 on this Encore. Visit AutoSpot Buick today.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Chris Barnett, half a day. KUAM Sports proudly brought to you by Triple J. We run the gamut, everything from hoops to motocross in today's show. So let's kick it off by shooting some basketball. Hilton and Sea-Grill meeting up at the Tuning Gym for the GHRA Basketball League matchup off the break. Sea-Grill pushing the ball, almost turning it over. Save to Julius Yu, who pump fakes and gets the defender to leave his feet. Yu drives inside the paint, misses on the first try. Aliyah, try again, gets the ball back, hits on the second attempt for 2 points. Julius, all about you, finishing with a game-high 22 points. While teammate Bert Arulong chipped in with 13. Sea-Grill slipping past Hilton for the win, 52-50. Dean Nilo finishing with 12 points for Hilton. Branzel adding 10 in the losing effort. Other games, Slingstone defeating Ambrose, Coast 360, 78-64. Eric Rages hit for 20 in the dub. Neil James chipping in with 14. Brandon Cruz led all scorers in the loss for Ambrose with 21 points. In the last game of the night, Quality 55-52 over ST Corp Wesco. Brothers Ethan and Eric Allegre, 28 and 13 points. Respect! Edgardo Baza, 30 points. Chris Blas, 10 in the loss. Marianas Open, black belt champ Felipe Pena begins his title defense against Spike 22's Jacob Guerrero this Sunday. Pena defeated 2015 champ Keenan Cornelius. The first black belt bout of this year's Marianas Open set to begin 11 a.m. in honor of the 10th season of the Marianas Open. A total cash prize of $17,000 will be given out.
I'm just gonna bring it, man. I'm gonna give it all I got. I have a chance to shock the world, and he's coming off of a big win this past weekend. So I'm just gonna give it my best, man. This guy is no joke, so I'm gonna do my best and hope for the best.
With the stacked bracket, the Marianas Open expects to draw in a wider audience to witness the event live, and they invite worldwide jiu-jitsu fans to tune in. Live stream coverage by Flow Grappling.
I think it gets us a lot of exposure. You know, it gets us a lot of experience into like the higher caliber of competition. A lot of us want to venture off and go and do some off-island competitions like the Worlds and the Pans and things like that.
Local motocross rider Richard Wendon has been selected from hundreds of applicants all over the world to participate in the KTM Junior Supercross Challenge May 6, 2017 in Las Vegas, Nevada. The 7-year-old had to meet certain criteria to enter, showing proof of height, weight, racing accomplishments, and an above-average report card. Riders had to be 7 or 8 years old. A random lottery undertaken with 15 riders selected for each of the 10 Supercross rounds across the USA. Richard and one other competitor from New Zealand will represent the Pacific. You can watch the 2017 Monster Energy AMA Supercross on Fox Sports 1 Sunday, May 7, 11 a.m. Guam time.
All right, Guam, thanks for watching me on this wetness day. It's a wetness day, all right? My name's Chris. You keep on shining, Guam. Adjust!
It's tax time. You've got a refund. You checked the mail? Haven't got your refund yet? During Nissan's 17th Annual Easy 1040 Refund Event, everybody gets a refund up to $7,000 cash with your new Nissan. Use it towards your down payment, drop the price, or take the cash. The Nissan Easy 1040 Refund Event going on now, where everybody gets a refund. Take your guest drive today or get the details at NissanGuam.com.